Good morning and welcome to our InnLink In Touch Forum this morning. We've got a good group attending and we appreciate your time today. We're going to talk about social media tips and a new capability that we have to integrate booking capabilities on Facebook. So I'm Pam Walren. I'm the Director of Marketing here at InnLink. And as many of you know, I'm usually the host of these, but not the presenter. And today, I'll be doing both. So we enjoy having you with us and taking part in this. If you have questions through the session, you can use the question capability to send those to us, and we'll address those at the end of the webinar. So let's get started on social media tips and integrating booking on Facebook. I'm going to talk a little bit here in the beginning about some of the social media tools and what we've learned about penetration of those tools in different business environments. The bulk of the time we will talk about integrating Facebook with your InnLink booking engine and how to be where your potential customers are and bookable on Facebook. So this is an exciting new capability. In integrating that capability, we also have some tracking tools through ResMatrix that you can use. So for the first time in many of our businesses, we can get an ROI on Facebook and our social media activities. And then finally, we'll talk about what's coming up next and some of the follow-up steps in Facebook. So let's go ahead and get right into some of the social media tools and the penetration of those tools. I think over the last year, as we've talked about social media, everyone is familiar with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, company blogs, and the types of social media tools that have really become available in the last couple of years. What I think is very interesting in this chart is the difference of how these tools are being used in a business-to-business environment versus how they're being used in a business-to-consumer environment. And at InnLink, you know, we're really in the business-to-business marketing and supporting you in your hotels. But as hoteliers, reaching out to consumers around the globe, the use of the business-to-consumer tools are much more important. And Facebook is by and far the most used social media tool to reach consumers. It's been growing exponentially, and actually in this last edition of Fast Company, we'll see some of the stats on Facebook. I think the interesting thing is that 68% of the companies who are participating in Facebook have identified that they haven't acquired a customer. So when we started talking about social media maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago, there was a lot of discussion around the fact that it was a good way to connect and communicate with customers, but not so much a way to bring new customers in. And it very much has become a way to bring new customers in, and the capability that we'll share today address that. The recommendations of friends are powerful marketing tools, and so that Facebook is really just the beginning of the conversation. I said that Fast Company did an article just this last month on Facebook penetration, and while we're all familiar with it, I think the numbers, when you look at them holistically, are still pretty staggering. There are 610 million member profiles on Facebook. That equates to about 1 for every 11 people on the planet, and continuing to grow. And recently, based on page views and users, Facebook has become the #2 site in the U.S., behind only Google, but well ahead of YouTube and Yahoo. And even as a search engine, Facebook has taken over Yahoo, so that's a pretty big climb. But Facebook is also a very international tool. Americans make up only less than a quarter of the users, about 24% of the users. But around the globe, Facebook penetration has grown as Indonesians, Britons, Turkey, Asia-Pacific users are all represented on Facebook. Just as a point of note in the consumer end, some of the most liked brands on Facebook are the brands that you would recognize as huge consumer brands. Coca-Cola has 21.6 million fans, and Starbucks has about 19 million. So again, that is a testament to the ability to reach consumers via Facebook. So I'm going to transition from talking about Facebook in general and really move into talking about the Facebook landing page and the ability to update that landing page with a booking capability, so that we can integrate in making that booking available right on Facebook. We're going to use the facebook.com InnLink site, and if you want to go online now or later, you can go see how this reservation tool works and actually make a reservation. We've got a test hotel up, so you can make a reservation before you start actually making the tabs or start implementing on your own page. So we've got, the first thing we're going to do is add a new tab on Facebook for reservation. And Facebook has recently updated how to do this using iframes, and we have a complete user manual on how to do that. The use of iframes allows more flexibility and functionality on the additional tab. And we do have a user guide available. I'll give you some more information on that user guide that really walks you through the steps to complete. Once you've established your new page, we've designed a sample page. We've got the code and the ability to add that in 3 main components. The first component at the top of the page is your hotel name and logo or branding, and that is a separate picture within the booking component. And then the second area is really the booking information, where users can put right on Facebook what they're looking for to book and their dates and information. And then finally at the bottom, we've added a promotional, an optional promotional area. And you can either use that with our code or not use that, but it gives you a way to round out the graphics and put another message in there. When you get into the into actually inputting information on that hotel area, there is a calendar feature, so the guest can indicate their check-in date and move interactively through the calendar to scroll to the dates that they would like to search. This is one of the functionalities that's a lot easier to do now in iframes than it was in the new one, and is very much the way your consumers are used to looking for their hotel. Then as they complete the rest of the hotel information for the booking engine, it's number of nights, number of rooms, number of adults, and number of children. These are all passed to the InnLink booking engine for completion of the booking. To the right, there are optional fields where you can include a discount code, and we would recommend, as you implement this, that you set up and indicate a Facebook discount code. Give the people who are booking on Facebook a special rate to be able to come and visit you and to come back to your Facebook location. There is also, note at the bottom, a link to modify or cancel a reservation that is built in. So any guest who makes a reservation through your Facebook page can come right back here to change or modify that reservation. We don't want them to have to go searching for your website and finding your booking engine in another place. You want everything that they need to be available right here. So we've built that in to the sample code as part of the hotel information. Once the search button is clicked, the booking engine will then open in a new window to complete the booking. It takes you directly to page 2 of your own booking engine, and the Facebook page will stay on the page that it's on, so that when they're done and they close the booking out, they're still on Facebook and can move about the other things that they would have been doing. And then the booking is completed just like a booking engine reservation. Confirmation is provided both on the screen and through a confirmation email as usual. As I mentioned earlier, the InnLink Facebook page is a guest property, so you can feel free to make a reservation, get your confirmation, see what it looks like. I do recommend that you use a demo credit card, like 4 4s, 4 3s, 4 2s, 4 1s, and not your real credit card information, because we don't want that in the test property, but we encourage you, while you're on the InnLink page, to like us and to go all the way through the process to get the confirmation. And then the confirmation display, as shown here, is the same as what you get from the booking engine. Now, one of the major challenges of social media to date has been the ability to track and to develop an ROI for social media activities. And in ResMatrix, we have a web tracking tool where you can measure your results via Facebook and establish a real ROI. It is available in ResMatrix today. Your instructions on how to implement Facebook include how to develop that tracking code and where to put it into the code, so that you can track both hits that come from your Facebook page, as well as reservations, room nights, and revenue directly related to clicks that came from your Facebook page. So this is a clear way to establish the ROI of your Facebook activities. So let's walk through that web tracking tool just a little bit. To create a tracking code, you go in the marketing section on ResMatrix under web tracking, and there's a very few things that you need to fill out. You name the code, tell how long you want to track it, and hit create, and the new tracking code is established. At the bottom of the page, that landing page URL has your tracking code ID and property code at the end. That's all that needs to be copied into your Facebook code. And again, the instructions tell you right where to copy that. And once the tracking is established, you'll get reporting on the next page on exactly the activity that has come through Facebook. And this screenshot is a few days old. We had 59 click-throughs at this point in time, and I think we have over 100 as of this morning when I looked at it, of people testing the site and coming to look at it as we've announced this. So run that number on up, make your own test reservation, and you'll see you get both the hits, the number of reservations, the room nights, and the total revenue from the tracking right there in ResMatrix for all of your Facebook activity. So in terms of the integration, there are really 3 ways that you can do Facebook integration. We've tried to make this as simple as possible, and I've kind of talked through today how you can do it yourself, kind of the basic version. The instructions are not on ResMatrix this morning, but they will be by the end of the day, so don't go running there right this minute. Give us just a little bit of time. But under Tools on ResMatrix, there will be a Facebook integration guide. It takes you all the way from how to complete the page through how to set up the tracking and implement it. So if you have a web developer or someone who is familiar with Facebook and iframe implementation, the instructions are fairly comprehensive for you to do it yourself. We've had some customers testing those for us and have actually already implemented their own pages, and we appreciate that. But that guide will walk you through how to put your booking tool on Facebook. You will need to be able to host your own HTML and graphics in that solution, but anywhere that your website is hosted, that's usually pretty straightforward to do. If you would like InnLink to complete and host the integration with your graphics and colors, we will implement it. This will include updating the format and the 3 elements that I outlined earlier with your graphics and colors, hosting and implementation. We'll ask you to grant us access and as an administrator to your Facebook page during the process. We don't want your login and password, but if you can grant us access as an administrator, when the implementation is complete, you can delete that access, and this can be done fairly quickly. Through the end of April and the month of May, we're going to be running a special promotion to do that for you with a one-time fee of $150. After June 1st, we can also continue to implement, but that will be $200. So, you can customize the look and feel, although the elements that we just went through would be pretty standard on that. If you would like to do custom development or have a complete web page designed for your Facebook pages, we'll do that on a custom quote, starting at about $400. That's about 6 hours of programming time, and those are available to customize as much as you want to. We'll just need to get you a custom quote on that. Any of these options, or any of actually, the second options can your account managers are ready to talk to you about and do an amendment to cover. So we look forward to being able to help you integrate the booking engine with your Facebook page and being available where your guests can find you and book you. So I don't see any questions at this point in time. If there are any questions, feel free to type them in. I think that's a good sign. I tried to cover everything you'd need to know, and certainly getting you.
What does ROI mean?
What does ROI mean? So ROI is the return on investment in Facebook. As we have any investment that we're making, and certainly Facebook, while it's not a financial investment, requires quite an investment of your time to manage that. And being able to track the reservations that come from that avenue help you measure the return on that investment. So,
what's the difference between an individual and business Facebook page?
So the difference in an individual and a business Facebook page is that a business Facebook page requires that you get a number of people to like and enable you, and allows then your business name and your business information to be presented outside of just an individual capability. The search functions are fairly similar on both of them. And if you'd like me to do some more, get you kind of a follow-up article on that, I can do that as well.
What is Red Matrix? How are reviews filtered?
How are reviews filtered? That reviews are typically filtered on Facebook through monitoring your page, and if you've been if you've had a Facebook page, I know I've been searching. Quite a few of our hotels currently have Facebook pages. Then those reviews are filtered by watching and replying to comments that come in on the Facebook page.
Can the iframe also be implemented on our business websites? It's not really required.
Yeah, the iframe is not required on your business websites. We can make the iframe look similar to your business website, and actually some of your pages can be displayed through that iframe capability. That gets into custom development, so if that's something that you want to be able to do, then you can ask your account manager about the custom development. This is a good one. So I'm getting lots of questions now. What is the fee per reservation booked on Facebook? The fees are exactly the same as your booking engine fees, so there's no incremental cost to a Facebook reservation. There's no incremental cost for the tracking capability. That's all built in Res Matrix that you can use today. So whatever your rate is on your booking engine today, the same fees apply to your Facebook. So this is like your booking engine, one of the most cost-effective reservations that you can get, and the tracking doesn't cost you anything else, so there's no incremental fees to this.
Do you need, I can answer that one if you don't know that one. Are you planning on doing this with Facebook, or are there plans for other areas?
Okay. So there is a question, are we only planning on doing this with Facebook? Are there plans for other sites? And I think, Facebook is the largest social media site, and, that's where most of the hotels are. So that was the place that we wanted to start. As we gauge both the response and the success, we'll make determination about others. But currently, we wanted to make sure that you were bookable in the place that most of your guests were, and Facebook is by and large that place. And yes, integration will work on both a personal and a business Facebook pages. You can add additional pages to either, but I suggest that for your business, that having a business page gives you the opportunity to really promote your business more than just the personal name. Okay, I think that's most of what we've got in questions. If I find something up there that I missed, we'll certainly get you the information and get that back to you via your account manager before the end of the day. I think this is the most questions we've had in a long time, so I'm glad that you're interested and exciting. I think this is a great opportunity as we move forward. Let me talk just a little bit about our next In Touch Forum. It will be May 17th, again, Tuesday on normal schedule. And it'll be navigating PCI compliance, some updates on things that we're doing here at the CRS to enhance PCI compliance, as well as learnings on hotel tips, so things to do at the hotel to ensure you've got PCI compliance. Marie Ainsworth, our product manager, will be here to speak to that, and I know that's been a changing topic and a challenging topic for many of us, so I think Marie's insights and updates will be very valuable at that point in time. So I appreciate your time today, and as I said, the implementation guide will be up on ResMatrix by the end of the day. So we look forward. Feel free to share your stories as you implement Facebook and begin getting reservations there. Thank you, and have a great day.